Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So this is going to be our weekend read from April 18th all the way into April 20th. And as a side tangent, happy Easter for those that celebrate. Before we get started though, I just wanted to say thank you guys. A huge shout out to each and every one of you for all the ways that you love and support this channel, because truly each and every one of you make a difference and I love you back. I feel so blessed because of you. So thank you guys. Now, like I was saying, as we walk into this Easter weekend, on April 18th, the moon is going to be in Capricorn. And so this enhances our ambition through a burst of energy and focus towards our career. And it gives us a drive in our work. And so this is kind of like you're coming into this weekend, astrologically and energetically speaking, getting an A+ for your work ethic. It heightens our responsibility, our feelings of responsibility, and our desires towards building a solid foundation, as well as applying a practicality in our long-term goals and what we're building. And coming into this weekend, this is where it's like a breath of fresh air. If you have been standing up against conflict, ignoring or even suppressing conflict, kind of avoiding something going on that's how to put it, avoiding the elephant in the room, I guess is how I would maybe best put it. This is where instead there's an opportunity for reconciliation, an opportunity for compromise, but more so an opportunity for cooperation. And it's a new cycle. It brings change. It brings uncertainty, yes, but it's a challenge and a shift that really helps you with embracing that sacral chakra. This is getting back into your creativity, allowing yourself to grieve for things when they end, but more importantly, allowing yourself to seek things that you desire, to take the wisdom from the past with you along the way as well, so that you set yourself up for success in your long-term goals, but more so that you're better prepared for when challenges come up in the future. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because as I was meditating on this weekend's astrology, the biggest thing that I got out of the energies is that this is the weekend where you enter the season to invest in yourself. Now is the time to invest in yourself. And so on the 18th as well, with the moon being in Capricorn, it also happens to be square with Neptune as well as Mercury. Both Neptune and Mercury happen to be in Aries. And so this creates a very challenging dynamic between managing daily life as well as embracing emotional rhythms. And so what I see in a lot of ways, it's like this is where you really start looking at things. You know, you've got some, how I always put it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should find a different way to put it. But you've got some haters. There's some definite deception around you here. There's also some betrayal, but there's schemes. And so now is the time to really be looking out or just seeing things as they are, seeing things for really diving deep at looking at what's the ulterior motives, what do people have to gain when you're looking at your work, when you're looking at collaboration and coming together, particularly when it comes to this compromise or reconciliation. This will be a personal challenge for you. It also will really translate to holding strong and steady on your boundaries and making sure that this energy doesn't serve as more of a distraction with those emotional rhythms, with feeling like you're just not multitasking well with your responsibilities. And instead, this is where it's like to really embrace that spirituality within you, really embrace your intuition. Embrace that solar plexus as well, because it'll challenge your confidence. This is the time to really uphold those boundaries and really utilize the skills that you've gained, the wisdom that you've gained to really manage the daily life routines, responsibilities, but also the emotional rhythms that surround you and are within you. Now, when Neptune is in Aries, for Virgos, it heightens our awareness of self-doubt or tendencies towards perfectionism. This is about conquering or rising above that self-doubt. And so now is the time to really be aware again of your solar plexus, how you talk to yourself. Remember to be gentle with yourself during this time. To not let those self-doubt or perfectionism aspects hold you back and prevent you from really walking forward or taking a leap of faith, but more importantly, to be gentle with yourself and do it anyway. even though it's not perfect, even though there's some self-doubt or you're lacking a bit of confidence with it. Remember, you've got an A+ for work ethic this weekend. Now is the time to really embrace yourself and take the strength. Know that you've got the strength within you, that you are capable and you are enough. The world is waiting for this. And so now is really the time to just be aware that that'll be a personal challenge coming in. Now with Mercury in Aries, there may also be, or you may also feel, a tendency to quickly express opinions and insights before considering the full details or the story, the full story, with which can lead to misunderstandings, I guess, through assumptions. And it can really be prompted through impatience and closing your ears as opposed to opening them. This is where staying focused again with your career, looking at those long-term goals, really getting that drive, that ambition, and holding that vision, sticking to the plans, not necessarily being distracted by any type of aspect that's going to throw you off, but instead remain connected and open-minded. Now is the time to really consider that and stand in the High Priestess energy with patience. This is the time to, if you've got conflict or issues, ulterior motives potentially coming at you, you're just kind of questioning situations that have come up, now is the time to really consider situational versus dispositional perspectives. And also, too, remain open-minded and be open to listen, to really embrace that throat chakra and allow yourself to be heard as well as others to be heard. But more importantly, to be open-minded to listen and receive the full story, the full details of the situation at hand, and to ground yourself in the patience and not jump to conclusions, but instead know that leadership, true leadership, comes from the knowledge that comes from power and wisdom, right? Knowledge is power, knowledge is wisdom. And so that is really where it's like, this is a time to really attune yourself, not only with the inner balance, but remaining steady, remaining calm during this time, open-minded to see new ways, to get the full story, to see the full story, consider all the details as well as the perspectives of where other people are coming from, those ulterior motives, right? For better or worse, right? There's always self-motivation. And so understanding we used to have a saying for it when I worked, please don't hate me, but I used to work way back in the day when I was in college for Great Lakes Higher Education. No, you don't owe me money, I'm just saying. But either way, it's amazing when you tell people you're a loan counselor for education. It's amazing. They say, wait a minute, I think I owe you. No, you don't owe me anything. Anyway, this is where you're really looking at what's in it for me, and how you talk to people, or considering that for other people, what motivates them, what makes them tick, and how you're relating to them, understanding the situations, understanding situational or applying situational versus dispositional aspects to conflicts that come up. And more importantly, look at the enlightenment that can be gained from those other perspectives. Also, too, it speaks to really connecting with that third eye, utilizing your intuition with seeing ulterior motives, seeing and reconnecting in the way of friendships and sharing. This is the time to really build those sincere allies, and it starts with knowing that unity is our strength, but more so it starts with that trust, that patience, knowing that people can trust to be vulnerable with you when those conflicts come up, when misunderstandings are at hand, so that you can quickly look at the situation, look at the perspective, and more importantly, rise together through cooperation and through understanding, but also too, like I say, through coming together with that open mind to listen and to learn. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, share your story, because as we come into the 19th, the sun is going to be entering Taurus season. And so this is a period for Virgos that it really speaks to a period of stability. It turns us towards our comfort and material securities and really embracing the best things in life that are free. And so in a lot of ways, you could be pulled towards getting out in nature, especially with the warmer weather here as well. But this is where you're really looking at your wishes that come, and really, sorry, I know I can talk here. What I'm seeing here, just to kind of spread this out because it's beautiful, is it's like you're kind of seeing that bigger picture, but you're also looking at your resources. You're looking at expanded potentials, opportunities, possibilities. And so as the sun enters Taurus season, not only will you be pulled towards grounding yourself in nature so that you can better receive the signs, connect with the divine, but also too, you're mindful, or it pulls us to the energy of being mindful of our resources, looking outside the box with what resources we can leverage, what we may have overlooked as missed opportunities, or that could open doors to new opportunities rather, that you have at hand, that are kind of, it gives the idea of like one man's trash is another man's treasure. You're utilizing those resources wisely at this time. And more importantly, what Taurus season really gives us as a gift is the patience to patiently wait for the results from our efforts. This is where working towards our diligence is important, working towards that Eight of Pentacles. Basically also to holding that self-discipline, that patience, and knowing that true victory, true success doesn't come overnight, right? Those types of kamikazes are always the schemes, the get-rich-quick schemes, right? But instead, what really pays off, what really builds true wealth is mastering your craft, having the diligence to really seek those disciplines, to work every day, to remain focused, also to educate on what you don't know, to learn new talents, and more importantly, to hold that vision, that aspiration that leads to the stability every step of the way, rather than just looking for the quickest way up. And again, if that resonates, by all means, let me know in the comments below, because this is a lot of Sun energy and a lot of Virgo energy. But with the Queen of Cups as well, this is again about allowing the divine to guide you as well as to ground you. This is also coming to the table with remaining pure in your thoughts and in your dreams and in your creativity. A lot of you could be artists as well. This is the time really to embrace that and harness that creative energy, because knowledge is power at this time. And with Taurus season, or sun season coming in for Virgos, it really marks a period of growth, adventure, and expanded possibilities. It activates our 9th house. And with the 9 of Cups, this is just amazing that this comes out as well, because the 9th house is really all about our house of exploration, expanded horizons, but it's linked to expansion, higher learning, and travel. And so this is really about stepping into your abundance. You also could have travel along the way, but this is really where it marks the start of the season to invest in yourself when we walk into Taurus season. And so you could find as well that you're in, like I say, you're looking at traveling. You could also be investing in hobbies, side hustles, starting new visions, new ventures. But it's all about going towards your dreams, your higher callings, and bringing it into the 3D with your manifestation towards that material success. Now, during this time as well, you could also experience a catalyst period for you where you're full of new ideas. You've got new ideas coming at you. But either way, it inspires you to take initiative towards creating a positive change. And more importantly, it's the time where it really focuses on our stability. And that includes wisdom as well, right? This is the time to invest in yourself. So you could even be looking at resources like online classes and certifications that are free. Again, no longer work in connection with student loans. I promise you. Please don't click off or hate me. But either way as well, on the 19th, Mars, which is currently in Leo, is going to be trine with Neptune, which is in Aries. So there's going to be a lot of fire during this time as well, particularly when it comes to new business ventures and side hustles, It's very much, you'll feel that catalyst, basically. And so it's a powerful combination of creative energy as well as romantic idealism. So you may also experience a surge of romantic fantasies and a desire for deeper emotional connections in matters of love, as well as in matters of relationships. Oh my goodness, thank you. But it gives us a fiery energy and a passion behind our wheels, as well as a creative energy behind our ambitions. And this is where you really come into that rhythm. This is about investing in yourself and finding that flow. But it leads us to expressing ourselves more openly, taking initiative in our romantic pursuits. So in case there is a special somebody that you've been thinking about, just haven't moved towards yet maybe, This is where you're finding harmony and taking that risk or putting yourself out there in a way that builds a relationship off of strength. Now with the Ace of Swords here, it kind of came out or fell out in reverse here. This is where it's like if you had been having a difficulty of focusing or dealing with conflicts, being unimaginative, or just lacking ideas, that was really due to a lot of confusion, due to a lack of judgment, lack of self-control. This is going to end at this time. When we walk into the season of investing in ourselves, the season of Taurus, this is where instead you're able to really have that burst of energy behind your confidence that allows you to take that initiative. And changes are rushing towards you. And so this is really utilizing that law of attraction in a lot of ways as well, or a law of inertia. Once you get moving, the universe responds back with coming towards you as well. And so it's kind of like, this is maybe a little over-romanticized as well, but it's like if you see two long-lost lovers slowly but surely walking down a hall and getting closer together, and with each step they start to speed up, that's the connection that you have with your manifestations during this time, during Taurus season. And with every investment in the self, every new idea or a new idea comes to light. A new insight is greeting you. And as well, possibly even romantic pursuits. Now, as we close out the weekend here as well on the 20th, we have a half moon in Leo. And so this makes us more passionate as well. It gives us the strength to really, and openness to really be more expressive, but our emotional responses intensify. And so this is a time where, again, it's like now is the time to listen to your gut. You know, we saw in the reading earlier that there could be ulterior motives coming towards you at this time. On the 20th, this is where it's like things come into light through honesty, through accountability, but you could also see a confession coming in where somebody has been caught in the act, and it's being seen at this time. It's being enlightened. This is also, too, where it's like where restraints could have happened due to something done in the dark, done behind what you're really fully aware of. This is where you could have that, have something come to light here that kind of triggers that emotional response. I guess is how I would put it. The bigger thing about the half moon in Leo, though, is that it does offer an opportunity energetically, to tap in and to take more risks. And so if there were aspects where, you're really needing to have a true conversation with yourself about something, if you've been unwilling to learn from mistakes or have been, lack of dedication or have been a little bullheaded about things, maybe even suffering from a bit of poor work ethic, this is the weekend where, again, you're really holding yourself accountable and you're having that talk, if you will, with yourself, where it's like, hey, why am I not investing in myself more? What can I do to get that A+ work ethic back on track here? Back into that fiery energy, passionate energy that we had before, where we can take more risks. This is where it's really, you're embracing that half moon energy. If you can tap into that, this is where the more you tap in, the more risks you take towards your creative adventures, the more that the universe responds back with providing those open doors, those new opportunities. And so again, if anything, this is the weekend where it's the time to invest in yourself. And for every step that you take towards investing in yourself, letting your intuition guide you, utilizing your discernment and your enlightenment, the more the universe responds in kind and sends an open doorway towards you. So this is the time as well, like I say, focus that energy, because it's time for the light to come forward. It's time for the truth to come forward. Be honest with yourself as well. Be resolved in your commitments and stand as the King of Pentacles as well as the King of Cups. This is beautiful. It's like emotional intelligence, but also too, it's where you're really starting to see those long-term goals really pay off. And like I say, on April 20th, we also have Easter Sunday. So for those that celebrate, by all means, happy Easter. It's a time and period where it really represents and signifies a time of new beginnings and too of rebirth. And so now is the time, what I see in a lot of ways with chakra-wise, it's a rebirth of really connecting with your intuition as well as with your crown and walking in that royalty, that high priestess energy. Now, color therapy-wise, what I see in a lot of ways too is a lot of indigos actually indigo over here. It's kind of interesting. What would you call that? Like almost like a periwinkle or a violet. There we go, an indigo and a violet. And then also an orange here. And so this really stimulates the mind, but it also brings us into that spring flowers of violets that really start to come out at this time, that really start to bloom, just saying. And so for color therapy, try playing around and embracing in your meditations those indigos, those violets, and then also the oranges. And then for music therapy, what we pulled is 2 G sharps, a G, actually, this is crazy, 3 G sharps and a D. So try really playing around with those G sharps, with the chord of G sharp. That'll really lighten your vibration so that you can get into those higher vibrations that really let you start connecting with your intuition. And then what I also wanted to do was pull a few spirit animal totems before we go. And so the biggest thing that Spirit wants to really confirm for you, assure for you, is that now is the time to stand in your authenticity. Just as you are enough. This is the time to reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm, but love your uniqueness, because your surprises, your gifts, breaking free from others' expectations is what makes you perfectly imperfect and just as you are, enough in all you are. I'm just saying. And again, it speaks to the community, but really in this weekend, this is the time to invest in yourself, and that also includes motivating and networking. And so this is really where Spirit is reminding you with the bee that you are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Now is the time to be open to receive the sweetness from your community, because you are the queen of and king of abundance. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. If you're needing a little pick-me-up as well this week, a little boost, check out the Honey Sea Star store. All the designs are meant to inspire, uplift, and empower you along your day, and to know that we here walk with you every step of the way. If this resonated, by all means, your support truly makes the difference and means the world to this channel. So please like, share, subscribe. But until we see each other again, I'm sending all my love and light to you. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.